Hola Wild Dreamer. Welcome to another episode of the Wild Dream Movement podcast. I am Brandy Amar Sky. I am an author, I'm a poet, I am a wild dream mentor and coach, and a book and creative mentor as well. This week's episode, I wanted to do something a little bit different. I know last week I shared a story that was more in real time, more personal, a sneak peek into the Wild Dream Diaries that I'm sharing with my paid members at my Substack, which is brandyamarsky.substack.com. And this week, I wanted to share where this whole wild dream extravaganza, how it started and where it came from. I talk a lot about, as you know, my whole wonderland is all about these wild dreams, these impossible dreams, these unrealistic dreams, these dreams that people tell you will never happen because it's never been done before. And wild dreams are very rooted in my life. I didn't just come up with this concept, I lived this wild dream concept from the onset. And this week, I want to share with you what I feel is the birth of the wild dream movement. And it is a story that I wrote for my book, Magic for Transformation. If you have the book, it is on page 35. But what was included in this book was more of an edited version. And this week, I'd love to share the story in its entirety because it really does encapsulate and express to you how and why this whole wild dream extravaganza began to begin with. And you can get this book at my shop. It's shop.brandyamarsky.com. You can get a signed copy as well. Settle in, grab your favorite cup of tea or coffee. Maybe you're listening or watching or reading this in the evening. Grab a glass of wine, whatever feels good and nourishing for you. My spellcast is that this story ignites a memory, a wild dream, or a action, a praxis within you. So settle in, grab a journal, grab a notebook, and make notes of anything that comes through as I share my story. I invite you to jot down any memories, aha moments that come through for you. I had a little hair on my lip. All right, let's begin. In the mid-'80s and early '90s, I was obsessed with ice skating. Like, obsessed. In our house, the ice skating portion of the Winter Olympics was our Super Bowl. This is before I started watching cowboy football. I loved everything about it. The costumes, the artistry, and the art. Oksana Bayul, Tanya Harding, pre-Nancy Gate, and Surya Bonali were my sheroes, and I wanted to be just like them. At 9, I had made up my mind. I was going to be an Olympic ice skating champion. There was only one problem. I lived in Corpus Christi, one of the hottest, most humid, and least ice skating rink friendly city in Texas. But that minor detail did not stop me from dreaming wildly about it. And it didn't stop me from acting out on my wild dream either. I was going to find a way, and I opted for the next best thing: roller skates. Every day after school, between school and on the weekends, I would lace up my skates and teach myself to do the spins, the little small jumps, the turns, and artistic footwork using our broken concrete backyard patio as my ice skating practice rink. When I wasn't on my skates, I was hunched down over my spiral notebook, writing down choreography for the made-up skating routines that I would do in my backyard. I created to my favorite songs, When my parents took me to City Skates, which was our local skating rink, I would use the center of the skating rink as my stage, and I would perform my routines and everything else I had worked on at home. One day, we got to the rink about 15 minutes before it was going to open. But because they knew us, they let us in early. As soon as I walked in, my mouth just dropped. There, in the middle of the skating rink, the same place where I would practice and I would do my homemade routines, was a group of 5 skaters clad in the classic ice skating uniform of a leotard with a skirt, doing the exact same kinds of spins and jumps that I'd seen on TV. So what did I do? I laced up my skates and joined them. Like, why not? And as the rink opened, the professional skaters left the floor, but I stayed in the center doing my own self-taught skating choreography. When I looked over to my parents, they were watching, but then I noticed a man in a navy, short sleeve Dickies overall, arms crossed tightly over his chest, his face tense, and in a serious conversation with my parents. And I immediately thought that I was in trouble for breaking up the professional skaters' practice by joining them uninvited. But when he left, my parents waved me over to the snack bar and told me that Chuck, the man they were talking to, with the crunched face and the arms crossed, was actually the coach to the City Skates artistic roller skating team. My mind exploded. This artistic roller skating team was a group of skaters who did everything my favorite ice skaters did, but on roller skates. Exact same thing I was doing at home on the broken concrete in my backyard. And he wanted me to come to a closed practice session and audition to be a part of their team. Oh. That was the day that I inadvertently began a lifelong love affair with wild dreams. That one choice to plant myself in the middle of the team and show off my skills, however wobbly and amateur they were, transformed my life for the next 3 years and laid the groundwork for a lifetime full of chasing and catching my wild dreams. In my time as an artistic roller skater, I competed in over 10 artistic roller skating competitions all over Texas and 2 national championships in Pensacola, Florida. And then I would go on to place first in the Junior Olympics, just like 16-year-old Oksana Bayul did in the 1994 Olympics. And that was it. That was the seedling of my wild dreams, of this work, of the belief that we can do impossible things because impossible things have already been done. And I believed and therefore acted as if I was going to be a champion even before the possibility arose. And that was the first of many times that I would have manifested and willed something into my life. Miss Diva US of A and being a drag queen was another one. That's a story for another time. But all of this, I share this story to maybe help you find what is that wild dream for you. Maybe it's something you did when you were younger. Maybe it's something that you're doing now. But these wild dreams are the dreams that seem impossible because of the environment, or people label are too out there because they're too ambitious. It's never been done before, and it's just too crazy to actually come true. These wild dreams are the dreams that the status quo labels impossible. They are the dreams that reality and logic label pipe dreams. These are the dreams that defy logic, the system, the form, and expectations. Wild dreams are the dreams that make up your own personal wonderland. My wild dream wonderland began when I was an artistic roller skater and only grew from there. And if you have not started living your wild dream life, I want to invite you to start living it now. What is your wild dream? What is your personal wonderland? What are all the things that you want to create, be, do, show, make in 2026 and beyond? It all starts somewhere. And I want to invite you to maybe do a little bit of journaling around what were the things you loved to do as a child, and maybe was that the birth of a wild dream that you have either forgotten about, ignored, or are just now ready to make happen. I hope you enjoyed this story. Again, you can find it in my book, Magic for Transformation, which is available in my shop, shopbrandymarsky.com. Brandy with an I and Sky with 2 Y's. I love you. I will see you next week, which is another Dear Wild Dreamer series. And if you need any kind of support along the way, I want to invite you. I've just created 2 new VIP days. So if you're wanting to write a book, I want to invite you to check out the link for Write Your Book VIP Day. And if you're ready to get moving on this wild dream, maybe you did some journaling and you're like, I got it. What comes next? I want to invite you to check out my Impossible Dream VIP Day. I love y'all so, so much. You've got this. Here is to wild dreaming today, tomorrow, and beyond. I love you. You got this. In Lakesh, I believe in you.